Hi all, this video is a quick tutorial reminder of how to move content around, to hide a tab, and to also how to do adaptive releases within content that you've already created. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to come over to the side tab over here and you're going to click on the current year's shell. You should have already done your class copy and copied information from last year that you've used into the current school year. If you haven't done that yet, you're going to want to watch the tutorial video on class copy. If you've already done that, then you're in the right spot. What you're going to do is you're going to click on the current year, 1819, for your homeroom. And once you're in there, the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to come up to the section up here where we have the student view. So it says enter student preview, and we're going to click on that button right there. And what that is going to do is going to show us the way it currently looks to parents or students if they were to log in. So I'm looking at my tab on the side and I see that things are not organized the way I would want them to be. My homepage is at the bottom. I would want that moved to the top. My supply list, I don't want that visible just yet. I don't want homework visible just yet. I want to hide some things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start there. So I'm going to exit preview. And once I have exited the preview, I'm going to come over to my side tab. And the first thing I want to do is I want to move my home page up to the top so that parents or students can always navigate back there if they need to. So if you notice, whichever tab that I'm hovering over, there's an arrow over on the side that if I go right over to that up and down arrow, I will see a four-way navigational arrow, which means if I just hold my right click down and I slide up, that I'm able to reposition it. So I hold with the right click and I just take another finger and I slide up and I drop where I want it to be. So now if I go back to my inter-student preview mode, I'm able to see, hey, it's now at the top where I wanted it to be. I'm going to exit preview. And then I'm going to come back, and now I do not want my supply list to be visible, and I want to adjust that and also my class information. So if I notice that I already have some things hidden, it has that little white box with a line through it, that means there's content there but is not visible to other people. So what I'm going to do is I want to do that to my supply list. I'm going to click on the little gray drop down arrow and I'm going to go down, and all I'm simply going to do is hit hide link. Then wait a moment and I see that that is now hidden. I'm going to do the same thing for my homework tab. I want to hide that link. I also want to hide my class information. I'm going to hide that link. And the only thing I'm going to leave visible for right now is going to be language arts. I'm also going to hide my science. So I think I had one more thing available at the bottom, which was my keyboarding without tears. I'm going to hide that too. So once I've hidden all my desired links, I'm going to go back to student preview, and that is going to show me, okay, what parents or students would now see. And so now I have it to where I have 5C homepage, language arts, and they'll be able to always navigate back to the LMSD website to get help or to view the calendar. So I'm going to exit preview. And then now that I've done that, now that I've moved content to where I want it to be, now that I've hidden tabs that I wanted to hide, I'm now able to go from there. So I'm going to go back into the idea of my supply list. Let's say, okay, wait, I've decided that I want to make my supply list visible again. Same idea. Instead of hide link, there's now a bar that says show link. I click show link. And I go back to double check that it's now visible, enter student preview mode. And look at that, my supply list is now available under my homepage tab where I placed it. So I'm going to exit preview. And now to check your adaptive release within a tab, what you'll do is I'm going to use my language arts tab as an example. Within my language arts section, if I go into the folder, I have other things that are available. And I've decided, you know what? I do not want typing practice to be available just yet. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on the arrow and I'm going to click on, I'm not even going to click edit. I'm just going to click on adaptive release. And I can go in and I can change it to display after a certain time or until a certain time. But I looked and I said, you know what? I don't want to have to play with those dates, and I can set that up and schedule that. Instead, I'm going to go back and I am going to, for typing practice, I'm going to hit the down arrow and I'm going to click on edit. So I've gone back in and I've decided to do the edit, and I'm going to scroll down and I can actually right here permit users to view this content, yes or no. If I don't want it available right now at all, I click no, hit submit. Now you'll notice that it's grayed out. That means it is not available at all to anyone to access. Maybe I want to do the same for endangered animal facts. I'm going to hit edit. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to make it unavailable. I do not want viewers to be able to see that right now. Hit submit again, and look, that's grayed out as well. So any content that I do not want available, and I do not want to set a specific date or time to release it, and I just say, you know what, I don't want it visible right now, I'm going to go in and change that yes to a no. Also in the same section, you could decide that you want to say, okay, after January, I want this available. Then if that are the case, you're going to click here and you're going to choose your date and time that you want it available. If not, if you're like me and you just want it hidden until you're ready, whenever that time is, you click no and you submit. And to double check what students see, I can click my student preview. And what it does is it takes me back to the home page and entering in. And I come over to the side, I click on my language arts, go into the folder, and I look, and guess what? My typing practice, I cannot see. It's not visible. The other two tabs that I endangered species tab and the other tab that I decided to hide are now not visible to students. So that is something that you're able to do just by simply utilizing the tool for the student preview and going to the edit and clicking no for if it is visible at the current time. If you have any other questions or need anything else, be sure to look at all the video tutorials about Blackboard under LMSD Blackboard. And you can also email me at craiga@lmsd.org. Again, that's CRAIGA @lmsd.org if you have any specific questions.